Oh, I did not expect that. Hi everyone, I'm Roberta. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, specifically a clinical dietitian. Today I'm going to be taste testing those 3 noodle soups, and together we're going to be food detectives, investigating the soups for these 4 things: sodium, carbohydrate, protein, palm oil. In last week's video, we learned why we're trying to keep each meal to no more than 500 to 600 milligrams of sodium. And regarding carbohydrate, remember that video I did on the 300 and 400 calorie meal design, where we learned that for weight loss, we don't want more than 30 to 45 grams of carbs per meal. I myself keep my meals to no more than 45 grams. Also, in last week's video, we learned why it's important to have at least 20 to 30 grams of protein 4 times a day. And regarding palm oil, we want to limit it as much as possible, because last week we learned that palm oil is not a healthy substitute for trans fat. Are we clear on the 4 things that we're investigating? First up is Chef Wu. I selected the braised beef flavor. The sodium is 1,130 milligrams. Remember, we're trying to keep each meal to no more than 500 to 600 milligrams of sodium per meal, and that is because high blood pressure can damage your arteries by making them less elastic, which decreases the flow of blood and oxygen to your heart and leads to heart disease. Some of you are keeping your carbohydrates to no more than 30 grams per meal. Some of you no more than 45 grams of carbs per meal. And this one is 26 grams minus 2 fiber, so 24 grams of carbs. We want at least 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. We got that. And I don't see any palm oil. Instead, it's organic sunflower oil. I had already opened this to see if there was a seasoning packet, but there isn't. It's all mixed in there. So I guess I just won't have the broth. You can see I already added the water to the fill line because I forgot to hit record. So let's set this aside for 5 minutes. Next up is this Snapdragon product, Mushroom Pho. That's pronounced pho, not pho. This is a product of Vietnam. The sodium is 840 milligrams. Carbohydrate is 43 minus the 2 grams of fiber. So that fits for people who are keeping their carbs under 45 grams of carbs per meal. And the protein is just 4 grams. We would need to add fish, chicken, but not seasoned because seasoning is already in here. And if you've already hit your carbohydrate limit, you would not add beans because beans would give you more carbs. In the ingredients, we see it's a rice noodle, and I already looked, and there is no palm oil. And this has a couple packets in it because it says to add the vegetable and seasoning packet and wait on the oil. And we let that sit for a few minutes. The last one I'm going to try is the curry from Snapdragon, and its sodium is 980 milligrams. The total carbohydrate is 45 grams with not much fiber. The protein is 4 grams, so we'll need to add protein. And I already checked the ingredients. We just see here in the coconut packet that we actually have some palm kernel oil, but it can't be that much because that would show up in the saturated fat if there was a significant amount. And in the flavoring oil, they use soybean oil and shrimp oil. And just like the last one, we're going to open up the product. We're going to add the veggie and seasoning packets, but we're going to wait on the flavor oil. Packet of coconut powder, soup base, and the vegetables. Cover that up and wait a few minutes. All right, I'm going to add the flavor oil to these two, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I'm really excited to try these. So the Chef Wu product, it's a pea protein product. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the way pea protein powder tastes, so I'm interested to see what this tastes like. This does not taste like the pea protein powder. This tastes a lot better. This is really good. But whoa, that broth, you can't really see. It's a nice, rich, brown broth. That is salty. Chef Wu, you make an amazing product, but if you could please put the seasoning in a packet, then this could be purchased by so many more people, because at over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, I know you don't have to have all the broth, but whew, I am not accustomed to that much sodium. Okay, next one. This is the mushroom pho from Snapdragon, which this one is a rice noodle, as you can see. That is a nice tender noodle. Very nice flavor. And yes, it's a little salty because I made the mistake of adding the entire seasoning packet because I'm not accustomed to a lot of sodium. So I would purchase this again, and next time I would only add half of the seasoning packet. Remember, you'll need to add protein to this in order to get your 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, but it could be something as simple as a scoop of protein powder in some almond milk that you just have to drink with this. And lastly, the Snapdragon Curry. Oh, that is spicy. I did not expect that. I would say that's a medium spice, but to me medium is kind of hot, but that's nice. That is nice. I taste cilantro. I'll have to check the label to see if there's cilantro in there. This too is a rice noodle. You'll have to add extra protein to it. Shrimp would be great, but make sure that the shrimp has no added sodium because that would just put you over the top. Overall, 3 really great products, but make adjustments to the sodium if you need to. And Chef Wu, if you could put your seasoning in a packet, that would open up your product to so many more people. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you something to think about, and until next time, take good care of yourself. Bye.